Well, hello once again to all of our wonderful fans out there. From us here at Murph Manor, we really appreciate you watching our videos. And today we have another episode of WrestleMurphia with Hans and Les. But before we get to that, we must do the sponsorship announcement. But before we actually get into the sponsorship announcement, I must introduce the resident movie critic, or at least the main one because I help, Tennis the Menace Murphy. Say hello, Tennis. Hello, Tennis. Oh, here he goes again. So, yes, and if you're the sort of person who skips these sponsorship announcements, maybe don't do that this time, because we're going to do some reviews of the movies that they're selling at Home for the LD Lee. A little bit of extra content for you, for those of you who like to watch the sponsorship announcement. You know, a lot of fun. So, yes, check it out. Hello, Tennis. Okay, you've done that bit. Okie dokie, so if you want to get to Home for the LD Lee's website, you can either just type in homefortheldlee.com, or you can go through our lovely website at neongym.net/murph.htm. There's a lovely picture of Tennis and a lovely picture of me. That's just me, Swimurph, just there. Yes, you just scroll back up from here on our lovely website here. And yes, you go to the Home for the LD Lee link just here. Now, as we did last week on the Murphing the Internet special episode, we're going to review some of the things that are available on the website for you. I think, first of all, we will go to, this is a very special part of the website, this is Charlie's Picks. Now, Charlie is a good friend of ours. He is the owner of Home with the LD Lee, and yes, this is his business. He is the one who sponsors us, and is a good friend to all of us Murphys. So, yes, these are the movies that he picks that are currently available through Home for the LD Lee, and we're just going to go do a quick review of a couple of them. Okay, so we're scrolling down here. Alien, that is a good movie, but I don't think we'll do that one this time. That kind of deserves its own episode at some point. Maybe we'll do the Alien saga at some point, because there's a lot to talk about there. The Mask with Jim Carrey. This is a good film. I like that one. What would you... And over to our resident movie reviewing expert. This is Tennis the Menace Murphy. Okay, what rating do you give The Mask? Okay, and that is a very good review. Yes, it's a very funny film if you've not seen it. Well, it's a very funny film if you have seen it. It would be weird if it was only funny if you've not seen it. But yes, next to that also we've got Toy Story, another really good film. What would you give that one? Really? Only 3? I don't like the music of Randy Newman. Well, fair enough. I guess you're not to everyone's taste. But other than that, it's a good film. I actually don't mind the song myself. But, yes, Ed Wood. This is a good film. I like this one. What would you give that one? Okay, I would probably agree. I might give it 5 myself. But, yes, that's maybe, it's hard to say. I don't know if I'd say it's the greatest film of all time, and that's what 5 would be. So yeah, 4 is probably actually accurate. A good film about a crazy man who made really bad movies, but it itself is a very good movie. And if you've not seen it, go check it out. And you can buy it right here at Home for the LD Lee. Oh, Cable Guy, I mentioned that this is a good film earlier. Another Jim Carrey film. This is a bit darker than most of his other work. Okay, Tennis, what would you give this one? Another 4. We're doing a lot of 4s today. There's another Jim Carrey movie over here, The Truman Show, but I think we'll leave that one for now. Oh, okay, he's already given your opinion on that one. LA Story with Steve Martin. How about that one? What was that at the end? I tried to give it a 4.5. Oh, okay. So not quite 5, but not quite 4. It's sort of in the middle. Yes. And continue going on. Okay, In and Out. This is a good film. What would you give that one? Yes, I probably agree with that. That's fair enough. Mrs. Doubtfire, I don't think we'll do that one. Okay, so that is the Charlie section of the website. And also they've got the bargain basement. We should have a quick look at that, because we didn't look at that last time. And as we said, we looked at it last time. We thought maybe it's a bit too expensive for some of you to get into. And if you just want to sort of dip your toe into the world of Laserdiscs, this is probably the better place to come check out just what they've got that's, something a bit cheaper. Okay, The Last Waltz. This is a good film if you're into even if you've never heard the music of the band. the band called The Band. It's a fun film, kind of great concert movie directed by Martin Scorsese, I believe. So yes, good film. What would you give this one? Another 4. Yes. Okay, and we're moving on. What else? Is there anything else here we wanted to review of that doesn't really require a much longer review? Because some of these things we're not reviewing now. Things that we're going to really do a proper review of later. And Coming to America, starring Ted Danson, that's him here in the funny hat, and Whoopi Goldberg, who is not wearing a hat. What would you give this one? Another 4. Okay, well that is enough for today. Let's just have a look at one of the other. Oh, Grail. So this is where they have all of the collectible discs. They're really sort of, you're not going to get anything cheap here, but this is the stuff that is really sort of hard to find collectibles. Some really cool stuff, and also some of the dirty stuff that we mentioned last week. So, yes, if you're into that kind of thing, that's certainly something you can get here. Okay, so the Out of Towners remake. And remakes are usually pretty shitty, but this is a good one. And as you can see, that is quite expensive. But if you are a collector of Laserdiscs and you really love this film, then I'd certainly recommend getting it on Laserdisc. Because, yes, it is a good way to see the film. What would you give that film? Only 3. Because you said I've done too many 4s today. Well, fair enough. Okay, The Mummy. Oh, The Mummy Signature Edition. That is a great film, a part of a whole series of films starring Brendan Fraser, who is an amazing actor. Again, quite expensive, but again, it's also a signature edition, signature collection. So you get lots of wonderful bonus features that may or may not be on later editions of it. I don't think they all are, but don't quote me on that. But yes, great film in my opinion. What would you give that one? 5. Wow, so you think this is a perfect movie? Yes. Could not be improved in any way. Okay, so now we're really cooking with gas. So yeah, that's a quick look at that. And yes, this is all we're going to do for the Home for the LD website this week. Thank you for that. And now back to the actual show. And don't forget, when you go to checkout, to write Murph in the check where you check out. That's capital M, lowercase URPH, to get a 20% discount. This is exclusive to fans of the Murphy family and all of us here at Murph Manor. So yes, without further ado, we're going to hand you over to Hans and Les. Okay, and here we are with WrestleMurphia. Hey everybody, this is Hans Murphy from Modesto, California, along with my co-host and brother Les. Hey. And today we're going to be talking about the latest edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, which took place just yesterday in San Antonio, Texas. You're from Texas, aren't you? Yeah, I grew up in Fort Worth. This took place in San Antonio, which is about 3.5 hour drive, give or take, from Fort Worth. So, yeah. So, without further ado, we're going to cut to the highlight reel that they've put up nicely for us on their YouTube channel. And we're just going to talk over that. And then we're going to come back and talk a bit more at the end of that. So, see you then. Okay, this is Hans Murphy, as I've already introduced myself on camera, along with Les Murphy, and we're just going to talk through this very, very quickly, as we've got the highlights of the show here. This only just happened today, so, this is Saturday night's main event, and this was a great match, great way to start the show. I think I take a lot of issue with a lot of the WWF, or WWE, I should say, shows these days, is they do tend to start with a long talking segment, whereas this one, it was pretty much straight into the action. And this was a great match. This was probably actually the match of the night, which is something I never thought I'd say for a match involving Nia Jax, who's really not a great wrestler, but put her in the ring with the right person, such as Rhea Ripley, as they've done here. This was really a good match. So, it was two people very different, but certainly they were able to make it work between the two of them here. And, I just think this was a great match, as you can see here from the little highlights we've got coming up on the screen. Yeah, I think that Rhea Ripley's probably one of the only wrestlers I could say I've never seen have a bad match from the current roster. And I'm only fairly new to the new roster. I was a big wrestling fan in the 80s and 90s and a little bit in the 2000s, but I've not really kept up with it as much as I could have since then. But yeah, so that was the first match. A lot of great moves, and yeah, they really made it work. Which again, I didn't think I'd say for a Nia Jax match, but I gave it. We both gave it this review. So, Les, you want to do the honors? Yeah, that's right. 4 Murph burps out of 5. Now we're on to the second match. This was Braun Breaker, who is the son of the legendary Rick Steiner. Again, he's taking on Beaker from the Muppets. I think that's actually Sheamus. Oh yeah, I can never tell those two apart. Anyway, this again, as you can see, that was a really good move there. You know that was I really felt for Sheamus there when he got that spear right there as he was sort of diving off. I hope the guy's not injured. And yeah, this was a pretty good match. Pretty solid. Both great wrestlers in their own right, and I have not seen as much of Braun Breaker, but he certainly seems to be taking after his famous father as far as his in-ring ability. He probably has a bit more charisma than his father had, actually. So, yeah, this was a pretty good match. I personally wasn't too happy with the ending. We've not shown that bit on here yet. So, yeah, I think that personally I would have... I'm just going to spoil it now because... yeah, Sheamus didn't win, and I thought Sheamus should have won. I think he kind of deserves it. He's not had just for the Intercontinental title. He's never had it before, so it loses some of its coolness factor on that for me. But Les, you still liked it a bit more than I did, so you gave it. That's right, 3 out of 5 Murph burps. So that was that match, and yeah, they both did a great job. I just personally would have preferred it if Sheamus had gone over. But that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so here we've got the formerly Heartbreak Kid. I'd now call him probably the, I don't know, dirty old man. Because let's be honest, he doesn't look like a kid anymore. But he can still deliver that sweet chin music, as you're about to find out. Yep, here he goes. How is he that sweaty? He's not done anything. It must have been really hot that day. Maybe it's just this. I think it's just the kind of shirt that is. So that wasn't really a match. That was a contract signing for something that's happening at the Royal Rumble next week. And yeah, I don't know. It's there. It's something I guess they need to do for narrative purposes. And this bit of it was fun, but it does just kind of go on and on and on. And you don't really need that much talking on a wrestling show. As I've said before, for a wrestling show, for a wrestler, you really it's kind of like being a silent movie actor. You just need to be able to get across if you're the good guy or you're the bad guy without really going into long monologues. So yeah, we're not really giving that any Murph probes just because it wasn't really anything. And then yeah, we move on to the next match. Where this match actually was a lot better than what they're going to show you here in the highlights. They've kind of just shown you the ending of the match. Whoever put this highlight reel together kind of screwed it up because they showed a lot more of the aftermath of the contract signing, and they just kind of glossed over this match, which it was a pretty good, solid match for the most part. Then it kind of got a bit silly where this Braun Strowman did this funny thing where that he decided that he'd run all the way around the outside of the ring and then run into or do something to, I can't remember now. They didn't show. They should have shown it here again in the highlights. Oh, what a lovely shot of his dribble going down his beard there. That's a lovely shot of Jacob Fatu there. And this match, it was good until it got a bit silly at the end with like I said, I think he did the whole run around the ring 3 or 4 times, and then on the last one, Jacob Fatu reversed it. And then they went into the ring, and he just did that hip attack thing about 7 or 8 times. And then everyone came out and tried to stop him. And then he kept doing, this is a cool move, but, once you've seen it once, you don't need to do it again. The guy's already bleeding. I mean, this could have been the end of it. So this kind of ended in a no match. I mean, I guess that's probably why they've overlooked the rest of the actual match. Both guys got a lot of potential. Braun Strowman's been around for quite a while. This is probably one of the most impressive matches I've ever seen him in. because I kind of overlooked a lot. I wasn't watching for a lot of the time when he was there before. But, I think that he showed a lot of promise here, and he seems to have really sort of put in a bit more effort to actually have a character now rather than, before he was just kind of this bland guy, but he's big and he's tall and, he shouts a lot. But, yeah, so they seem to have just overlooked the actual match and just gone straight to the aftermath here. And, yeah, kind of okay match, taking that into account. Had they actually just had a proper match, we'd be rating this a lot higher, but instead it's just going to get... Okay, and now we're on to the main event. This was Gunther versus Jey Uso, and this match honestly didn't really do it for me. I don't know, maybe I'd had a bit too much to drink by this point, but yeah, I don't know. I think that, Jey Uso's got a lot of charisma, and a lot of, his character is very well done as far as, it's not something that I find cool, but obviously a lot of it does mean something to a lot of people, but I don't relate to it personally. Gunther, on the other hand, great in-ring wrestler, but his character seems to come down to he's from Austria. And, that's fine. That's, I guess that's where it's from. But he needs to have more character than just that if he's going to be a top guy in the WWE. And so to me, he just comes off as kind of beige and boring. Good wrestler, though. Good sort of, technical wrestler. But I think that he needs to sort of, if you look at someone like Kurt Angle, who's also an amazing in-ring competitor, he's also just able to be either really funny or really evil or... Yeah, I think that Gunther maybe needs to look into at least developing some sort of character beyond, he's this kind of icy Eastern European guy. And yeah, anyway, that was that. That's over. What are we going to give that match? Okay, and yeah, that was the end of that. And now back to the studio. So yeah, that was Saturday night's main event for January 2025. What did you think of the show? It had its moments. It was cool seeing Jesse the Body Ventura, who's not in that highlight reel. Cool seeing him working with the WWE again after all these years. So yeah, that certainly brought a lot. And I liked a lot of the references to the past of the WWE and WWF, bringing back a lot of the nostalgia of, a lot of the stuff that we're all nostalgic for from our childhoods. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But as for the actual show itself, it was only okay. What do you reckon? Yeah, I'd kind of agree with that. The highlight was definitely the first match with Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Other than that, the rest of the matches were okay, but not great. And, yeah. And so out of 5, we're going to give the show... So, yeah, that's all we got for you this week on WrestleMurphia. Thank you for watching. Check out our website, neonchimp.net/murph.htm. Also, we've got the TeePublic thing. It's all linked at the website. Just go there. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. See ya.